While Coruscant came to dominate the core and by extension the Republic, it wasn't always a given that this would be the case. According to historians within the Republic, one of the primary factors for its prominence was its position. Being somewhat centrally located in the core helps, but this was true of many other developed planets. So what exactly was so special about its location? Hyperspace travel is a difficult and dangerous thing. This was especially true earlier on when the technology was both less available and less reliable. So major mapped and stable hyperspace routes were crucial to the development of the galaxy. It was far easier to travel down these than to try to do a series of smaller local jumps. There were two primary hyperspace lanes important to the early development of the core worlds, the Corellian Run and the Perlemian trade route. While Corellia may have given its name to the former, as that sector was the last major stop heading out of the core, most of the benefit went to where these two trade routes met, Coruscant. Crucially, the Corellian Run also continued past Coruscant in a route originally known as the Spin, connecting Coruscant not just to Duro and Corellia, but also through to Metalos on the other side, and with smaller arteries heading out to worlds like Kuad. This made Coruscant not just the most natural intersection point for traffic down these major lanes, it also informed the demographics of the planet. The Corellian Run, while it had several important human worlds including Corellia itself, was home to a variety of species. The Duros, for example, were another prominent species in the colonization of the core and surrounding areas, whose worlds were primarily found along the run. The Perlemian, on the other hand, was primarily human-dominated, from Coruscant to its early endpoint Ossus, home of the Jedi in the early Republic. The easy access to basically every other major world, along with the immigrating populations of such varied species, contributed to the massive urbanization of Coruscant, which grew its influence on a macro level. On a regional or species-based level, though, it meant that Coruscant became something of an oppositional force, giving prominence to other worlds. One such world, Alsakan, could be found a short way down the Perlemian. This planet, originator of the High Galactic Alphabet, essentially acted as the filter of human culture and exploration into and out of Coruscant. It had not been part of the earlier development along the Spin, and nominally opposed the centralization of the Republic at Coruscant as a result. Instead, Alsakan, supposedly in the name of planetary independence, became the figurehead of human civilization and expansion along the Perlemian, which they called the Axis, or the Great Arrow into the Possible. After millennia of building tensions and economic competition, these grudges finally erupted into a civil war. From the year 17,000 to 3017, before the Battle of Yavin, Alsakan revolted a total of 17 times. Before the First War, the Grand Companies of the Corellian Run, a series of trade conglomerates, forerunners to organizations like the Trade Federation, had been pushing farther rimward into the area of space known as the Slice, which was the area between the Perlemian and the Corellian Run. Alsakan encouraged Perlemian worlds to begin colonizing ahead of the conglomerates in response, leading to direct confrontation between Alsakan war fleets on one hand and the merchant fleets of the trade conglomerates on the other side. Once this erupted into military conflict, the Republic government and by extension Coruscant backed the conglomerates. This war, later known as the First Alsakan conflict, only ended when the Bureau of Ships and Services threatened to withhold navigation information from both sides. The outcome of this war further cemented Coruscanti control of the core, even if it didn't solve the underlying tensions which contributed to the next 16 Alsakan conflicts, albeit with some varying factors each time. The sixth conflict, for example, saw Alsakan move beyond its traditional role as leader of the humans alone, and was fought in an alliance between Alsakan and various alien species, including the Hutts, against the Pius Day Republic, a humanocentric cult which had taken over the government of Coruscant. I did a previous video about the Pius Day if you'd like to hear more about that specific conflict, which I'll link in the top bar or the description. Coruscant continued in this role as the galactic leader for millennia, through the entirety of the Republic and Imperial periods. While the Rebellion and then the New Republic had become the de facto galactic power after Endor, taking Coruscant in particular was really seen as the symbolic moment where the Republic government had been restored. Similarly, in the Yuuzhan Vong War, the planet was captured and even terraformed a little bit by the invading Yuuzhan Vong Empire, who had attacked the Star Wars galaxy after being forced out of their own. Once again, the fall and recapture of Coruscant were seen as true turning points in the war, and really determined how much communication could even happen between the allied forces of the Star Wars galaxy. That's going to do it for our look at the role of Coruscant in the galaxy for today. I may end up doing another video specifically on the Alsakan conflicts and going through a little bit more detail on what happened in them, but for now, if you've enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like or subscribing for more. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time.